be in the position now, that's why I don't really take it for granted, right? That's why the guys at Standard said I don't miss days. Like, I do not miss days over there. Become addicted to the process. Become in love with the process, in love with your teammates, in love with your growth, because those are the things that are going to matter, and those are the things that are going to keep you engaged in this game.
There we go. That's it. 3 more seconds. 3, 2, last one up.
So if you worked your whole life to get 2 or 3 fights in the UFC, and you put everything into those 2 or 3 fights, when you're done, you're gonna feel like you wasted a whole lot of time, unless you love the process.
Honestly, I probably kept it less than 50. Only hollered at the father when the blessing hit me. Never gave up until let that Bible on my records hit me. But if I was that from that, I'm praising relentlessly. That's how it be. That's what it was. Never knew unless it was something that I wanted done.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you're a UFC fighter, but what do people not know about you? I know we have a 10-2 record. You came in pretty hot and you started late. You weren't like a 17-year-old wrestler or a 19-year-old fighter and you grew into the sport. It was like you just came onto the scene. Could you describe a little bit more about yourself that people may not know?
Yeah, Marcus the Maniac McGhee, obviously. Phoenix, Arizona is where I live at. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I'm one of 3 boys and 1 girl, so four siblings. And something that people don't probably know about me is, I didn't start officially training until I was 21 years old, just about 22 years old, which they would say is late in the game. And I didn't start training to become a professional athlete. I didn't start training to get into the UFC. I started training just to become a better human being and to become more comfortable with my skill set as a martial artist overall. And that just led me into falling more in love with the sport and humbling myself and growing as a person and fighter and father and businessman, all the above.
So for me, right, we're in half we already have this hip and up, right? We don't have that big control on doing like this and that. Like, they're not really meaning, okay? A lot of times we get the guy kind of pushing with you, like so with you, okay? Once I get this, I just drop my hips, connect my hands like an S, and I'm trying to work here too. And then when I really get boom, knee. This helps me too. Now when we're here, I prefer this over come up here. Let's take a lot of pressure off. And I still do this too, but I prefer let's just on top. Yeah, we need to try to do the opposite. Yeah. Then we both do it.
I think for me in particular, how I remain humble and just diligent is by knowing that I'm human. I'm a human being. Time is fleeting, I think that I'm definitely youthful for my age for sure. But at the same time, I'm also very grateful. I think that when you stay in a grateful type of mentality, you start to realize that the things that you always wished for are here right now, and the things that you thought you would never get are here right now. So to be focused on continuously growing, I think that you need to be humble, that you need to be receptive, that you need to be coachable. Because if not, you get to that stagnant point where you're like, nobody can teach me anything. Nobody can show me anything. My shit don't stink, like nobody can give me anything, which that's never gonna be the case, right? And that's one of the reasons I love martial arts overall. In martial arts, you're never gonna be done learning. You're never gonna be done growing. You might be done getting athletically better. Maybe you won't get any faster. Maybe you won't get any stronger, but the IQ level can continuously grow. And with the sport growing and with so many different arts coming into this world, you better be able to be coachable, because if you're not, you're gonna get exposed.
Wrestling has a way of exposing the truth. There's no space to hide here. Just pressure, position, breath, and reaction. It is about being corrected, being tested, being put in uncomfortable positions over and over again until the body learns what the mind already knows. Fight night is built in rooms like this, on mats like this, in moments where nobody is cheering and the only thing that matters is whether you are willing to listen, adjust, and go again. This is the part of the fight most people never see. This is where the process begins.
There's too many different guys coming in, there's too many different styles, too many different guys that know how to utilize different techniques. And if you can't be coachable, that means that you can't learn those things or adapt to those things. So for me in particular, being with these young guys constantly and with the older guys, you start to see all these things. You know, you see the guys that can't make the change, that won't make the change, that are stubborn, that want to stay inside their own game. And you see them have some success and you see them have some failures. Then you see some of the young guys that are just open-minded to whatever. They'll get one technique, they'll get a technique and get it learned today and be throwing that technique on everybody next week, you know? So it's just like trying to stay in that place where it's like I can constantly adapt and grow and get information, download that information and utilize that information. It just keeps me grounded and rooted in right now. So I think being present, you know, being present and grateful helps me stay humble, helps me stay coachable, and helps me stay grounded. There was a time in my life where when I first started this game, that's where going back to when I started, I couldn't even get anybody to coach me. You know, I didn't have the money, and money plays a big part in everything you do. Everyone deserves to get paid for what they do, right? So I used to yearn for the days that I could have personal trainers, you know, and have people holding mitts for me and have strength coaches and have all these different things. Because there was a time where I was like, I'm never gonna have these things. I'm broke, I got all these kids, I'm working at Circle K, I got no money, I got no future, you know, but I'd jump on my skateboard and I'd get to the gym every single day, right? And I used to want to constantly. So, you know, full circle turn around to have all these men pour so much into me I'm so grateful for it. I don't forget the fact that where I came from, right?
Go 5. Boom, get up. 4, 3.
So when you are fatigued, like you are, depleted, hungry, like you are during the peak week, how do you manage to still find a way to push through all of those sets? Grappling, wrestling, sparring, all of that.
Yeah. Man, and that's a great question. I feel like you're already so dedicated, been given so much to it. It's like, I'm gonna stop now, you know? I'm gonna stop now after all this, after all these years of training, after all this work, I'm gonna stop now. So I kind of dwell on that a little bit, you know? God has put me here. He's put me in this place, you know, where less than 1% of the world, less than 0.001% of the world can say that they've done what I've done. Less than 0.001 of the world can say that at the age that they are, they're in the shape that you know, most people can't. And there's a lot of people that wish they could even be a percentage of where I am right now. So when I be thinking about that, I just go back to being grateful, you know? Let's just get through this next rep, let's get through this next set, and then after this next set, we'll push to the next one, we'll push to the next one, and hopefully he says it's done, but if it's not, we'll just push to the next one, you know? And then over time, you get used to it. So I've adapted to it. I kind of have an understanding of what it takes. So I just keep that mind state that this is gonna be over eventually, you know? And one day I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna miss this workout right here. I'm gonna miss the fact that I could do this. You can go ahead and start.
All right, cool. My name's Tyler. I'm a strength coach here at Standard. I've been working with Marcus for the better part of 3 years. And I think what we do is extremely individualized. We do take our time during the assessment process. We get to know Marcus and what he needs specifically. And because we have an hour and a half one-on-one, we're able to give him exactly what he needs specifically. So in the context of leading up to this fight, he's built his strength, he's built his endurance. Right now it's all about just making sure that he's strong in the exact ranges that we need, that he has all the range of motion that he needs. and that he's ready to perform on Saturday. That's our number one goal, is making sure that he feels good, not only leading up to the fight, but when he actually steps into the octagon on Saturday.
And that's what I love about Build Better standard coaching. It's really specified toward me, toward my physiological attributes, the things that work well for me, for my body, for things that I do. And the guys really just focus on me when I come in here, and opposed to other people being in and it being a big group setting. It's individualized. Everything is specifically based on what I'm trying to do, how I'm trying to perform in the cage, the things that I want to be able to be more mobile in. So it's been great because we've been able to work off season on those things as well.
And he's the hardest worker in the gym, bar none. Shows up every day ready to work.
It is amazing. These guys are awesome. So I hate missing. I try not to miss, and honestly, I really just don't, even outside of camp. I'm always hitting with these guys, always getting in here, and honestly, I can feel the change. My body looks completely different, and performances have upped as well. So extremely grateful for everything that they do with me.
I looked up your record then. It was 10-1, 10-2 after Peter Yan. That's still an incredible record in UFC. That's a solid-ass record, by the way, 10-2. And you made your name in the UFC by opening up with a submission. That's first fight, right?
Yep.
So much has happened since then. What year was that?
That was 2023, I believe that. Yeah,
Okay.
2023 is when I made my debut.
Okay, so as much has happened since then. So how is this fight different from the rest, all of the rest, and is your preparation similar or different for this upcoming fight?
I would say the only way that this fight's different from the rest is because I'm making a drastic jump as far as like I'm going from fighting Peter Yan, which is considered one of the GOATs of the sport, to fighting John Giannis on short notice for his part. 5 weeks isn't crazy short notice, but 5 weeks that he took the fight on. So like people would say that jump is the only real crazy part about this, you know, to go from fighting a guy in a former champion and now the current champion to fighting John Giannis, who's just getting into the UFC, one-on-one, very tough guy. He's going to come to fight very hard. I think that's the biggest story of it, that makes a change. But other than that, I feel like this fight is just the same. I always go into fights the same way. This is my hardest fight. This is going to be my toughest fight to date. This is the fight that I'm focused on. I'm not looking past this kid. He's hungry. And then the preparation's been the same, you know. I think that we prepare very well. I think that it's shown in our performances that we prepare well. So I don't think that changing anything in preparation has been a big thing for us. We just stick to the plan, trust the process, and then go out there and perform. So as far as that goes, nothing's really changed in that aspect. Just the level of competition has changed, you know. And I feel like some people could let that get to their head or get cocky, you know, or think that they're unbeatable, you know. Oh, I've had people reach out to me in my DMs and be like, you went 3 rounds with Peter Yan, you better not let this bum beat you. I'm like, that's the problem with most people's mentality, right? Because you would think that this kid's a bum and you would go into this fight and be a bum and your ego and arrogance would get the best of you. I will not let that happen. This kid's gonna come to fight me hard. I've trained hard for him, for anybody who's gonna come in, and he wants to take what I have, you know? So I'm not gonna look past him or think that because I've achieved, you know, fighting one of the best guys in the world and the fight went pretty well, you know, overall, that this kid's gonna be any easier or that I'm above a certain level. I have to go prove it, right? So I will go out there come June 6th and prove that I am one of the best fighters in the world.
Circle, McGhee. Nice, McGhee. Nice. Well timed. Hey, make him struggle to get up.
I was the guy that was like, oh, someone's doing a personal training. Oh, they need somebody to be a body. That's how I'm gonna get my training in. I'm gonna go be the body that they can test on, that they can work on. And through those moments, I'll get some extra training in myself, you know? And maybe find my way into certain things. But, you know, to be in the position now, that's why I don't really take it for granted, right? That's why the guys at Standard said I don't miss days. Like, I do not miss days over there, you know? When they put me on my 4-day a week outside of camp, I'm over there grinding constantly. 3 days a week, I'm over there grinding. During camp, I'm over there grinding. I do not miss days because I remember when I didn't have a chance to do it, you know, where it wasn't even an option of mine. So now I focus on making sure that I can.
There's the young fighters all over the world. They watch you. My brother even came in, you know, because
Yeah.
he looks up to you as well. What's your advice, if you have to give one piece of advice to a young, up-and-coming, inspire mixed martial artist or just a fighter in general?
Yeah, if I had to give one piece of advice to a mixed martial artist coming up, I would say forget about the idea of being in the UFC. Forget about the idea of all the accolades that come with being in the UFC. Become immersed and fall in love and become obsessed with the process. Because everything you think that you're gonna get from getting to the UFC, from achieving championship, from all those things, is gonna be subpar to the process and the man that you become inside the process. So become addicted to the process, become in love with the process, in love with your teammates, in love with the growth, because those are the things that are going to matter, and those are the things that are going to keep you engaged in this game. Because if you do not have those things, you're never going to make it to the UFC, and even if you do get to the UFC, you're going to realize that the heart that you need to have for it, because you thought you were going to be rich and famous and all these extra things, you know, it's not that. This is not the same. This is not football. It's not basketball. This is a different beast, right? And unfortunately, just as fast as you jump in this thing, they throw you away, you know? There's not a whole lot of guys that have 10, 15-year careers in this thing and that are crazy millionaires from this thing. Most people get 2-3 fights in the UFC and then they're out of the UFC. That's the truth of it, right? So if you worked your whole life to get 2 or 3 fights in the UFC and you put everything into those 2 or 3 fights, when you're done, you're gonna feel like you wasted a whole lot of time unless you love the process. So fall in love with the process, not with the accolades that you're gonna get from being an MMA fighter or being in the UFC.
Who is your biggest motivation? And then we can kind of go into what is your definition of success. So what or who is your biggest motivation? And then what is your definition of success?
Yeah, in different parts of my life, I would have said different things for sure, but in this state of my life, man, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is my motivation, you know? Like, I wasn't supposed to be given a lot of these things, and most people would say that. Like my marriage, you know, for who I was inside of my marriage earlier on in life, for who I was to my wife, for my marriage to be as amazing as it is, for my children to be as amazing as they are, for the heart that the Lord has given me, for the mind that He's given me. It's like, man, that motivates me every single day. Motivates me every single day to keep on going, to wake up and keep on trying to build that person. Because there's a time in my life, and there's a lot of people that come from that time in my life that would have never imagined that I could be the father that I am, I can be the husband I am, I can be the teammate that I am, I can be the brother that I am, you know, the son that I am. Like, I'm just super grateful for him and what he's done for me. And then so the second part of that would be my family, you know, looking at my wife and my children and seeing what I'm able to do to provide for them, what the Lord has gifted me with the ability to do to provide for them in a place where I remember not being able to provide anything, right? Not even having a thought in my mind how this would work, you know, trying to get in the military, thinking that I needed structure and I needed to get in the military, I needed to send myself away so that my kids could have something, you know, to now fast forward, I got multiple kids that are about to be adults, straight A students, first chair violinists, you know, varsity basketball and track, and it's like all these different things that these kids do, and then their hearts, amazing hearts. You know, my youngest daughter just gave her life to Christ. You know, at 10 years old, you know, they love doing Bible study with me. You know, I remember hating doing Bible study with my wife, with my family and my brothers and sisters. You know, it's just like, man, it's like when you look at those type of things regularly, and I dig into like all the things that my life entails, even in the hard parts, even in like the things that I don't have. Again, I look back at all the things that I remember thinking I would never have, and then I see that I have those things. I own a home, I own vehicles, I have an amazing family. Like all these things I would never have thought that I would be able to achieve or do, I have. And man, all glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, you know, all glory to God.